Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm bringing you a video that has been very highly requested. It has been requested that I take all of the Prismacolor pencils that I selected for my chosen palette and I match these pencils up to the colors in the Black Widow set. For those of you in my Facebook group or that follow me on YouTube that only have Black Widows or that want to join us for the Hanna Karlzon Color Along and would like to use your Black Widows instead of your Prismacolors. Now, I don't normally do this, and my color alongs have always been primarily Prismacolor. But the reason I'm doing this is because a lot of you have found my channel through my Black Widow videos, and I absolutely love that. I think that I was one of the first ones to post the original video of the unboxing the Monarch pencils. And then I did another video following up the unboxing video where I swatched out all 144 Black Widow pencils. And of course that video got a lot of attention, and so I have a lot of you that watch my YouTube videos that love your Black Widow pencils just as much as I do. You all know that Prismacolor will always be my very first love. They are my favorite pencils, but the Black Widows come in at a very close second. I love working with them. So I am going to do this for you today, and we are going to look at the swatch that I created from this palette that I chose for the Hanna Karlzon Color Along, and we are going to match up the colors exact to the Black Widow pencils. Now, if you are just stumbling across my channel and you would like to join us for the Color Along, I would love to have you join us. All of the information will be linked below in the description of the video, and I will also have a lot of videos linked up in the cards, which would be in the top right hand corner, which would be right up here. So anytime that you do watch any of my videos, I will always have any information that may be important to you or that you may be interested in down in the description or up in the right hand corner in the cards section. So always make sure that you do check both of those places when you watch my videos, because any video that I do mention within the one video, those will always be linked in both of those places. If you enjoy this kind of content and you'd like to join us for the color alongs, I would say maybe a color along a month, and we always have a lot of fun. I've got a huge Facebook group with over 2,200 members. I would love for you to join us there. That link would also be in the description below. Please do make sure that you subscribe to my channel and also turn on your bell notifications so that you're always notified every time I post a new video. And I would really appreciate it if you would give this video a thumbs up, because it helps YouTube to know what type of content you would like to see. If you're a part of the coloring community, that really helps out because YouTube will continue to recommend my videos as well as other coloring videos to you. And it also really helps out my channel because it helps my videos get out there and get suggested to others who may also be a part of the coloring community. So if you would go ahead and do that and hit the like button, I would really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get into the matching of these pencils and the swatching. Okay, so here's my swatch sheet that I already did, where I matched up my pencils to the palette. And as you can see, I found 3 different coordinating colors, a shadowing color and a highlight color to go with my main color. Now, I don't always take the color that is in the palette and use it as necessarily my middle color. You can see the palette, and these are the colors that I have chosen for each separate swatch on the palette. And I should also by this point have this palette linked up somewhere or shown on the screen for you to be able to see the whole time while we're doing this and swatching the colors, so you'll be able to see how well they coordinate. Okay, so I've already used my swatch sheet I did a lot of swatching on a scratch piece of paper. I believe that I matched these Black Widow pencils color per color up almost perfectly. There was actually only one or two that were not a perfect match. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with our swatching. First, let me see. I wrote all these down so that I do not get confused. And if you could see my desk, I literally have pencils laying everywhere. So I have to kind of, it might take me a minute to figure out where I'm going and what I'm doing. So let's see, what color are we going to match up first? Let's go ahead and start with our teal type of color that we have over here on the far end, and we'll just move in that order from left to right. So we are going to do that swatch first. I had several people ask in my last video, and so I know people are going to ask in this video where you can get this swatching sheet. It's really great to be able to use, especially when you're doing one of the color alongs with us, because it's very easy to remember what your color combinations were for each object that you colored on your coloring page. But I'm going to use it today just to swatch out the colors, because I have found it very useful for that as well. And it kind of just keeps me in order. So these can be found in my Facebook group. If you are not already in my Facebook group, please put in a request to join and I will make sure it gets accepted. Please do answer all the questions though. When you do send your request in. But once you're in the group, you just go to the file section and this page will be there for you in the files section and you could just download it. So for the first one, we're using that teal color that all of you would see on the screen right now. And the first one of that was, for the Prismas, was the peacock blue. So I have matched that up, and the color that I found for that in the Black Widow set was Aquarius. So let's go ahead and swatch the Aquarius. Now again, some of them may not be a perfect match, but they are the closest that you could possibly get. Now then, when I did the Prismacolors, I had my light aqua, and the closest one to the light aqua from the Black Widow set, let me pull this down a little bit, is going to be Sky. So this is what Sky looks like. And then the last one for that teal swatch, when I did the Prismacolor ones, I added in, I kind of brought in some green because there was a lot, there's kind of blue and green in aqua type color. So we used light green for the Prismacolors, but we are going to use green slime. Don't you just love that name? Green slime. Oh, these two here blend together beautifully. Okay, so that is our swatch for the first one, and we are going to fill these in. What was that one? I think it was Aquarius. And then this one is Sky. This color here, Sky, is one of my absolute favorite colors in the Black Widow set. And then we've got green slime. Okay, so there is the first one. And if I put these right up next to each other, that is pretty darn close, isn't it? I tried to get as close as I possibly could, and this one is almost an exact match. So I hope y'all are happy with that. You'll have to let me know in the comments what you think about my pencil matching and if I did a good job. Okay, so the next one we're moving on to will be that kind of dark blue. So for this one, my Prismacolor was ultramarine, and the one that I found to be the same or as close as we could possibly get to ultramarine was Starry Night. Okay, so I moved y'all in a little bit closer so that you could get a better look at what I'm doing and see the colors better and how they match up. So my next color in this palette, if you could see this one over here, let me move this closer. I have them both on screen. But if you could see this one over here, it was the light cerulean blue. And the closest matched I found to that one was Blue Horizon. So here is my Blue Horizon. Pretty close, huh? So next for that one, we had Sky Blue Light, and there is not an exact match in the Black Widow set for this one. The one that matched up the absolute best was Cat's Eye, and this is going to have a little bit more green in it, I believe, and it is a bit of a darker shade. I don't know, it's kind of like a grayish, greenish, bluish, but it goes really well in this palette, and it would still work great for your highlight color. It is probably a little bit more muted, but there is no very pale blue in the Black Widow set, and that probably gives you a really great excuse to also have Prismacolors to use along with your Black Widows, because there are some colors that you cannot copy over to be exact. So there's that set. Oh, let's write down our colors. So this was Starry Night. And then Blue Horizon. And then what was that? I think it was Cat's Eye. I'm starting to learn these names and really memorize them in the Black Widow set. So that's really cool. And I'm starting to really remember all of the colors because I've spent quite a bit of time with them already. I really love this pencil set. I will make sure that for those of you that don't have Black Widows, I will make sure that I do have in the description below all of the links and everything that you would need if you want to purchase the Black Widows. And then if you do get your Black Widows, make sure you come back to my channel and you watch that swatching video, because I make it very easy for you, where I have swatched out all 144 colors for you and you don't even have to do the work. So let's see what the next color on the palette is. It's that like fuchsia, like purpley color. Okay, so this one is going to be down here, the ones that I chose for the Prismacolors. And we are going to match these up to try to be exact. As you can see, this is a little bit different because when I did my original swatch, I got a little confused and I accidentally did this one first instead of this one first, not going in the order of the palette. But that's okay. Because when you have pencils literally laying around everywhere, it tends to get quite a bit confusing. So the first one we had in the Prismacolor was the Process Red. And the one that I found to be the closest match to that was Cyanide Pink. So here's our Cyanide Pink. And see, this is one of the ones when I matched it up, it looked much different on the palette when I tried to match my palette with the lead on the pencil. And this one was a much closer match. And then the next one was the Fairy Floss. And the last one is going to be Tanned. Okay, so let's go ahead and write these in. We have cyanide pink. I'm trying to make sure I don't misspell something. Some of these names on the Black Widow pencils are a little strange. Like this one is called tanned, and it's surely not a tan color, it's a pink. Did I just write down the wrong thing? This one is tanned. See, I already messed up. This one is tanned. And this one is actually fairy floss. Okay, so there's those. Now let's move on to the next one, and the next one is going to be that really pretty melony looking color that you see in the center on the swatch and the screen. And so let's swap this here, and this is what I chose for that swatch in the Prismacolor. It was mahogany red, carmine red, and deco pink. And I have almost exacts for all of those. The mahogany red, let me see, I'm trying to see if I'm on the screen. So I may have to pull these next to one another after I'm done, because I don't think it'll all fit on the screen, and I'll still be able to get an exact, or still be able to have it close enough so you guys can see the swatch. So the color that matched up to the mahogany red was brown bug. Again, this is almost exact to the, what was it, mahogany? The mahogany red Prismacolor. And then the next one we had was Fire in the Black Widows. I love this color, but it is very close to the carmine red. And then the last one we had in this set is the Fudge. Look how pretty those are together. So while doing this, I'm making some new combinations for the Black Widow pencils, so that's exciting too. Now know when you do your coloring page, you could swap these colors in and out any way that you want. You don't have to use these exact combinations on any one object on the on your coloring page. You can swap them out however you see fit, and like take this mahogany red and, or not mahogany red on these colors, what was it called on this one? The brown bug. See, some of the colors I still don't know, but the brown bug, and maybe mix it with the fire, and then maybe come over here and add some tanned, because those would also be very pretty together. So brown bug, and then fire, and fudge. The name on that one, the name Fudge, and then it's like a blushy type pink color. That is just so strange to me. Okay, so those are done. Now we are going to move on to the next one in the swatch, which would be the yellow. So this was a fun one. I love matching up and making combinations for yellows because it's the color of a sunflower, and that's one of my favorite flowers aside from roses, because you guys know how much I love coloring flowers. I know so many of us love coloring flowers. Let me show you first these two together. If you could see these on screen. Can you see those? Look how close those are. So it's this one and this one. But that is a pretty darn close match. I think I did pretty well. Again, let me know in the comments what you think of my color choices. Okay, so This is the one we're doing now. It was the yellows. And actually in this one, the canary yellow is the one that matched up to the swatch, but I wanted to bring this one darker, so I actually went in with a yellow orange and wanted to bring orange in my palette, because if you could see over here in this other one, I had the salmon pink, and that also blends very nicely with these colors. So I was kind of really thinking about that when I put my colors together. So let's go ahead and get this on screen and swatch these out. So the darkest of colors, we had orange in our Prismacolor, and the one that matched up the best with that was the burnt orange. Okay, and then the next one we had on the Prismacolor side, it was the Spanish orange, and that matched up really well with the Aztec gold. This one here is not an exact match. There was nothing. This is one of the ones that there was nothing that was an absolute exact match, because the other one has more orange in it, and this one has less orange in it, but it still looks very nice in this palette. And it is the absolute closest that I could get. And of course, the last one that matched up to our palette was the canary yellow in the Prismas. And we are matching this one up with banana. And I'm looking at this, and it doesn't look like the contrast is really that much. But I don't know if you could see it on camera. If I come in a little bit more with this one and layer it again, you can see that there is a different contrast in this one. This one has a lot more orange in it, and this is just a straight up yellow. And then we get into our darkest orange. But that was the closest match that I could find for all of you. And so the orange that was used was burnt orange. And then we had Aztec gold. And then the last one was banana. Okay, we're almost done. We only have one more swatch to do, and it is going to be that purple one all the way to the far right. So let me show you these together, closer together. The Prismacolors. Let's see if you can see this, but we have this here and this here. And if you look at that, you could see that they do match up fairly well. I'm going to put another layer on this one, so you could see that it actually does match up. I think I was a little light-handed when I did that one, but that is really close. This one is maybe a tad bit brighter, but they are super close. So there's those. Now we are moving on to the purples. So that is actually, I think I could keep both of these on screen now, and they'll both fit while we're still zoomed in, because I'm going to put the palette over here, or the combination over here, and this is the one from the Prismacolors. So these are our colors, violet, lavender, and pink rose, that we're matching up with our Prismacolors. And the one that matched up to our violet was grape. And here's the swatch of that one. Very pretty dark purple. This one will be fantastic for your shadows on anything that you're coloring. And then the next one, we are now matching up our lavender pencil, and we are going to do that with the pastel purple. Super pretty color, and it's so close in matching. And then we are matching up this pink rose, but I will tell you this was one of the only ones that did not have an exact match as well. So there were two that didn't really have an exact match, but the closest I could get was blush. And this is actually, this one looks like it has a little bit more of the lavender in it. So this actually swatches out, I think, even prettier than what I had for the Prismacolors, if you could see both of those on screen. But this one has more pink in it, and then this one looks like it has more purple in it, so it blends in better, I think, with the lavender. So there are all our colors. Let me zoom you out a little bit. And hopefully you could see both of our swatches on the screen. But those are our colors. And I hope that you all think that I did a pretty good job matching those up, because it did take quite some time, but I think that they're almost just perfect, and a lot of the colors matched up almost exact. I think that there were only two that did not do that. So if you would like to do the Hanna Karlzon Color Along and follow along with me, and you want to use your Black Widows, now you have your pencils. And do know that you don't have to use the pencils I do. You can use one of my videos where I showed you how to choose your own pencils in your own colors. And you are more than welcome to pick all of your own colors and do that. But it had just been requested that I matched up the Black Widow pencils exact to the pencils that I picked for the Prismacolors. And I think this was actually a very cool video. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more videos from me, please make sure that you do subscribe to my channel and turn on your bell notifications. And don't forget to check the description so that you can join my Facebook group. And if you would like to join us for this color along, you now have pencils for in either set that you would like to use. Again, you don't have to copy mine. You can do whatever you'd like to do. Choose your own pencils. There's plenty of videos if you go back on my channel showing you how to choose your pencils from a color palette. But if you'd like to use mine to make it easy and you're just a beginner and you just want to do it that way, that is fine too. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, because it really, again, helps my channel. And happy coloring. Bye.